Welcome to Faith in 5, a weekly video devotional designed to discuss practical spiritual concepts in 5 minutes or less. I'm your host, Mark Vandella.
I remember when we used to gather as a family at my grandma's house. I can picture the couch, I can picture the living room, I can almost smell the food. I remember being super insecure as a middle school, and if we're being honest, all the way into high school kid. I remember the shirt that I wore to my school pictures that I was so proud of and yet so insecure about. I remember the people in my life. I remember this one specifically sitting in a doctor's office. I remember that doctor who helped my family because we didn't have health insurance growing up. I actually remember exactly what my wife was wearing in high school when she first met my eye, and I thought, that's interesting. I remember so many things. I remember the green jacket that my brother let me borrow for a baseball game that I played in right before leaving to go to my grandpa's funeral. I remember, and so do you, right? We all remember. And recently, I've become pretty fascinated with how our brains work, like the brain science between how we think, how we act, how our past impacts our present and our future, and how that really shapes who we are and what we do. And in that journey, I've also looked at how does our faith map onto that, right? Like how does science and faith come together? How do we combine those two things? And I've become really, really fascinated with how we perceive time. And as I've been trying to research this and also study the Bible and bring that together, I stumbled upon a psalm that it really hit me and stuck with me as I started thinking about what is it that we're thankful for, or what does thankfulness mean? And when we say, what are we thankful for, how does our brain engage with that? Right? So this psalm, it's Psalm 77:11. It says, I will remember the deeds of the Lord. Yes, I will remember your wonders of old. And so for me, it struck me again in this combination of brain science and faith and how the brain perceives time. Research shows that the brain really struggles to accurately perceive time without specific markers and without specific intentional looking back. And so this psalm really hit me as if we spend time reflecting on our past and we connect that journey with where God has been throughout that time, then we remember God's wonders. And in doing so, we also bring that into our present, the thankfulness of what we have right now, but also a hope for a future. And I think oftentimes we think it's one or the other. In my research, I found a lot of that is some people feel like if we look back, we're going to get stuck in the back. Or if we're in the present, we just need to be content and present here. Or our faith really, we understand the future and the hope and the joy. All of those things are true. The timeline is not necessarily one or the other. It's all of that impacts the journey. And I think that this verse really inspired me to think through this week as we head into Thanksgiving, as we ask the question that we all ask around this time, what are you thankful for? My research landed me on a lot of studies that show the power of nostalgia, the power of looking back and remembering the deeds of the Lord and remembering the wonders of old actually impact our contentment and happiness in the present, and it actually shapes our future. So it's not one or the other, and if you do one, oh my gosh, you're in trouble. It's really looking back makes everything more connected, and we see God kind of stitching all of that together throughout time. And so what I want to encourage us in this time of thankfulness is to be intentional about our reflection. So when we ask the question, what are you thankful for? What do we think about? I was very specific in the things that I remember. There's a ton of other things too, but there are a couple key components that help us reflect thankfully. And not only just reflect in a way that it's a moment of, a fleeting moment of, hey, I'm thankful. All right, let's get on with our business. Reflect in a way that really shapes the past, the present, and the future. And my research has also led me to a couple key components of things that we should think about when we reflect. When we answer the question, what are we thankful for? There are 4 areas that really resonate, that anchor it, and help us kind of see throughout this timeline of our journey and really map our nostalgia and what we're thankful for into our faith journey connected with God. And those areas are one, the memories and moments, like very specific moments in time, memories that we have. Second, it's places, like locations. I can picture doctor's offices, houses. I can picture the car I drove to high school. I can picture the shirt that I was wearing when I walked through those doors, right? Those, the places. And then also the people. So what are the faces of those people? Who are the people who have shaped you, who have influenced you, have helped you throughout the way? And then lastly, another really curious and interesting piece of research is songs, right? It's these are the songs that make us drop everything in the middle of something and like the lyrics just come out, or they instantly put us back into a vehicle, into a space and time. Songs somehow connect to that. And I have so many songs that just remind me of integral places in my life where God met me, where significant people came into my life, where significant, meaningful things happened in my life. And so this week in your faith, we also want you to be thankful. We want you to go back in time and think about where it is that God has shown up, where you are thankful, and then anchor those things in memories, in places, in people, and in songs, so that you can take your past and have it influence the very real realities of today, but also take that into what shapes you into the future.
Thanks for watching Faith in 5. If you like what you see, please like and share. If you're interested in making a donation to our ministry, please click the link below.